Yeah, and it's amazing because their vaults just haven't been there. And they scored, I believe, a 49-2 something on vault last week. So just imagine if OU was lights out on vault, what score they could bring home.
Sooners will start on vault. A little bit of change in the lineup for them this evening. Take us through the order and the little change, slight tweak that you might see in the vault lineup tonight.
Yeah, so Oklahoma is switching things up on the vault. Audrey Davis is still going to be the leadoff here, but we have moved freshman Hannah Shively to anchor position. And so we'll see what this change in lineup does for the Oklahoma program.
Shively is a two-time Big 12 newcomer of the week. She's already had 3 vault scores of 9 or higher. So we will see her in that anchor spot. 5 gymnasts from now. Audrey Davis will be first up for the Sooners. Senior from Oakland, Florida. She is tied for 13th nationally in the all-around, in which she will be competing tonight.
And Audrey leads off on 3 events, and she is just so consistent for the Sooners. Big vault from her, a big step, but that's a good start for Oklahoma. You want to see a little bit more controlled landings, so hopefully we'll get to see that.
Very unselfish to be the leadoff spot on 3 different rotations. You don't always have the judges' full attention, so to speak, when you are in the leadoff spot, right?
No, you don't. And sometimes people just don't think that it's the strongest position. However, Coach Kindler says that you have to be the mentally strongest to be the leadoff. So Audrey definitely is that.
Here's a look at the bars lineup for BYU. Sydney Benson, senior from Riverton, Utah, in the leadoff spot. BYU 4-7 overall mark this season under 9th-year head coach Karen Young.
Nails that first handstand, starts off with a toe-on to a huge Tkachev. This is that handstand just a bit. Now just going into her dismount. Double layout. Doesn't quite get the landing there, has to take a small step forward, but overall a solid routine for BYU on the bars.
So Sydney Benson in that leadoff spot. We'll see her later on the floor exercise. And she leads BYU on vault. We will see her there as well. So we just saw a 9.825 from Audrey Davis. Faith Torres will be up next for the Sooners.
Yeah, it's a pretty steady start for Oklahoma on the bars. Just hoping that they can get some more landings tonight, and I know that Coach Lou Ball is hoping the same thing. Really beautiful block off that table and form in the air. Just has to take that small step, but that's definitely going to be a bigger score than Audrey Davis. So they're definitely continuing that momentum.
Sooners are ranked 3rd nationally on vault. They are 1st on bars, 1st on beam, 2nd on the floor exercise, and of course 1st in overall score. If Faith Torres' score in just a moment. Just saw Sydney Benson on the uneven bars for BYU. Alex Mason will be up next, a senior from Rancho Cucamonga, California. Her husband Mickey is a BYU diver, and so 4 years at BYU. As a freshman, she had surgery to remove half of her left lung. And amazing to be able to go on and compete.
Wow, that's just amazing. I didn't know that. Starts off with a toe-on to a Maloney. Right into the low bar, pack salto. You can just see a little bit of leg separation. However, where the judges are, they might not be able to see that. Tries to hold on to that handstand, but you could just see her body was just going over. Got a little bit too much power.
So where will she have to pick up this routine?
My guess is that she'll just start at her dismount, but it's a tough position to be in. but that's why we have 5 scores count and 1 drops. So her team will have her back, and she just needs to finish up her routine as strong as she can, because you never know what could happen.
So Sydney Benson with a 9.725 on bars for BYU, and Mason restarts her routine to finish it.
This is that handstand just a bit. They're trying to finish this routine strong. Beautiful double layout, just a small hop backwards. You can tell she's a little disappointed, but it happens. We're still early on in the season. We'll see how her team responds.
Back to the Sooners on vault. We've seen Audrey Davis with a 9.825 and Faith Torres a 9.85. And next up will be Kiara Wells, the freshman from Augusta, Kansas. She's a gymnast that likes to keep it light, funny jokes, and always wants feedback. She has the highest initial score on vault, highest start value for the Sooners.
She got a career high last week in 9.875, so let's see what she does here tonight. Huge Yurchenko 1.5, just the smallest hop forward. That must be her best vault so far this season. Here's a replay here. Great block off the table, great distance. You can just see the smallest hop. She's excited. Great job.
We'll see if that betters that career and season high of 9.875 for Kiara Wells. Score be posted in a moment. That got the crowd to their feet at the Lloyd Noble Center. We've seen a 9.725 from Benson, a 9.225 from Alex Mason. And we get back to BYU on the uneven bars. It'll be Kylie Equinto, sophomore from Orem, Utah. Had a good week against West Virginia last week as BYU hosted first home meet at the Marriott Center. Had a good score, and she was 9.8 plus on all 3 of her events last week.
Yeah, she hit her season high last week, 9.85. Starting off with a toe on to a Maloney. Beautiful. Right into that pack salto. Legs glued together. That's what you want to see. Nailing that half pirouette. Just slightly misses that last handstand, but she's going into her dismount now. Double layout. Gets the stick and holds on for 1 second. That was a great recovery for BYU to continue that momentum from that first routine.
And got them back on track after the missed routine by Mason. So big one there for Equinto. Stick that. Just got a 9.925 for Kiara Wells, her new career high on vault. And Jordan Bowers will be up next.
Good for Kiara. I know she's been working really hard on controlling those landings, and hopefully that adds some momentum to this Oklahoma team to gain more sticks from the rest of their lineup. Jordan Bowers had a 9.8 last week. Great block off the table, and she sticks it. Wow. Jordan Bowers.
You can feel the momentum growing with this Sooner rotation on vault. Exactly what they needed.
Here's that replay again. Just great block off the table. A little sunk in that landing. I don't think the judges will take for it. Great vault from Jordan Bowers.
Crowd's anticipating something special when we get this score.
I see 110 from where I'm sitting.
She has had a 10 on vault in her career.
Yes, she has.
But it could be back-to-back weeks with a 10 for Jordan Bowers.
And she goes 9.975.
Still
super
excellent.
Close, yes.
9.975 for Jordan Bowers. Kat Levasseur will be up next for Oklahoma on vault. But we get to the first of the 2 Alvarados that we will see tonight for BYU. Up first is Anissa Alvarado. We'll see Alaya as well. Anissa is a freshman, and they're both from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Starts off with a Maloney. Beautiful pack salto. Such great toe point. Doesn't quite get that handstand on that half pirouette. Just her dismount now. See another double layout. Oh, full twisting double layout. And a small hop backwards. But that was a great routine.
You can see why Anissa Alvarado was the Big 12 event specialist week 1 of the season and leads BYU in bars average.
Yeah, and she actually had a fall last week, but you can just see that huge dismount. That's one of the most challenging bar dismounts, a full twisting double layout.
So we will see, but Iquinto got BYU back on track, and then Alvarado backed that one up. Just saw Jordan Bowers 9.975. Here's Catherine Levasseur. She is 12th nationally with that vault average of 9.885.
Yes, and she is capable of getting a 10 on this event. And there she does it. I think that might do it. Catherine Levasseur nails that vault. Wow.
She had a 10 last season against Alabama on vault. Did she just equal that?
And you can just see how the momentum grows, especially on vault. One small hop leading into one stick, into another stick. This is exactly what Coach Lou Ball wants. Here's that replay again. Amazing block off the table, amazing form in the air, and just nails that landing.
Waiting to score.
I'm super surprised, but I don't think they gave it to her.
Ready for BYU and Anna Bramlett on the uneven bars.
Had a 9.875 last week.
Levasseur 9.975 on vault, equaling Jordan Bowers for Oklahoma.
Anna started off with a huge ray right into a shoot over. Nailing that last handstand, just her dismount now. Beautiful double out, just a small hop in place, but very controlled and a beautiful routine.
So Anna Bramlett's high score this season is a 9.875 on the uneven bar. She is a senior from Prescott Valley, Arizona. Been a regular in the uneven bars lineup for the Cougars. Also appeared in vault once. Oklahoma momentum really building, and we talked about this talented freshman Hannah Shively, homeschooled St. Clair County, and she's already had 3 scores of 9.9 or higher on vault this season.
Yeah, she's had some trouble the last couple of meets with her landing, but with this momentum that the Sooners have built, I think that she can feed from that. Does a unique front handspring, pike half. She gets great block off the table, but just has to sit back and take that pretty big step backwards. Great block off the table, just a little bit sunk in those legs, having to take that big step backwards. But the past couple of weeks, she's been a little bit under-rotated, so maybe that's exactly what she's been working on to try to get more travel and distance.
Her parents were her coaches growing up. Dad was her vault coach, as a matter of fact. We look back in on BYU. On the uneven bars, Anna Bramlett had a 9.9, which is a new high for her.
Well, that's
Lindsey Hunter Kempler set to go for the Cougars. The Sooner high on vault is 9.975, and Hannah Shively's score just posted 9.825. So Oklahoma's vault rotation coming to a close. Lindsey Hunter Kempler here for BYU. She's a senior from Santa Clarita, California. She's been an uneven bars specialist all 6 meets for the Cougars this year.
beautiful Maloney. Nails that overshoot transition to the low bar. Doesn't quite get that last handstand. Huge double layout, just the smallest hop in place, but another solid routine for BYU. Great recovery from them after a fall.
Really pulled it back together with Iquinto, Anissa Alvarado, Bramlett, and then we will see the score for Alea Alvarado in a moment.
There's that dismount again. Smallest hop in place, but really milking that salute, and her team is really excited.
Senior Oklahoma set to have an exhibition on vault. In just a moment, we'll have an exhibition for BYU on bars, as well as we kind of get you up to speed with what's happening with Texas Women's University and Utah State. Utah State on the floor exercise. Nyla Morabito with her routine in progress. Freshman from Welland, Ontario, Canada. Won the floor exercise in the Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Week earlier this year.
Last week, I believe, was her first time competing a double layout in her routine. Gearing up for her last pass. She does a punch front full, very difficult.
This is Steely King for Texas Women's University on the beam in the split screen boxes.
Very nice back handspring layout.
Nyla Morabito wraps up her routine. The high score so far on floor exercise is 9.875 from Olivia Ostendorf.
Great save over there on the beam. Just was a little bit off on that switch half, but goes right into her next jump, and you didn't see a thing. Her dismount now, round off 1.5, just the smallest hop. A really good routine for the Pioneers on beam.
Texas Women's University competes in NCAA Division II. Steely King, a senior, was a Division II All-American on the balance beam. Still awaiting Morabito's score on floor exercise. Angel Stewart will be up next. Last minute instructions. If totaled up scores for Oklahoma on vault and BYU on the uneven bars, Oklahoma 49.550 on vault, which is above their season average, slightly off of their season high though, so improvement over what they did on vault a week ago, most importantly, is what KJ Kindler wants to see.
Exactly, and you know, it might take a couple vaults here and a couple vaults there, but just trying to rein that consistency back in those landings, and they definitely did that here tonight.
Still waiting for scores to get posted. Just saw Morabito 9.825 on floor exercise. Still the high score is from Ostendorf. It's a 9.875.
Over there on the beam, just back handspring layout just was a little bit off on her footing. Had to fall, which will be a 5/10 deduction.
Quickly back up.
Balance beam is one of the hardest events, I would say. You're flipping on a 4-inch wide beam that's 3 feet tall. Right now, she just needs to finish up her routine as strong as she can, because you never know. What could happen in the lineup. She is the anchor. They had a pretty low score at the beginning of their lineup. Gets that stick, gainer full off the beam. A good finish for them.
So Madeline goes there in the anchor position. Angel Stewart should be the final regular competitor for Utah State on the floor exercise.
She exhibitioned last week and did really well. Opens up with a whip half front full. Done very well. Very difficult leap combination right there. The switch ring. Just her last pass now. Double back. Nails that landing, keeps that heel up from going out of bounds. A great routine for Angel Stewart.
So there is Angel Stewart wrapping up the regular competitors for Utah State. She's a senior from Gilbert, Illinois, Hampshire High School. Been a regular in the vault floor exercise lineups the last couple of years for the Aggies. And that wraps up the regular competitors on all 4 rotations. We have a couple of exhibitions. On the beam, we'll see Caroline Bounds for Texas Women's University, and Hattie Wright is slated to exhibition on floor exercise for Utah State. You can see Oklahoma's vault score has them already 4.5 tenths of a point out in front after the opening rotation. So you just think about the overall score. Oklahoma's weakest rotation so far this year, score-wise, has been the vault, and still they are 4.5 tenths of a point out in front. And some very good routines tonight. Catherine Levasseur and Jordan Bowers, each with 9.975s. Here's Kat Levasseurs.
Here's this vault again, which I believe was a 10.0. Beautiful block off the table, just perfect on that landing. Here it is again from another angle. Just great form in the air. I don't know what they took, but wow.
Sooners last week. So you ask KJ Kindler what makes Jordan Bowers go, and the word that she uses to describe her is fierce. She said, I don't know how else to describe her. Competitively fierce. She says, I'll take care of my business, you take care of yours, and we will all be good. So we will focus on Oklahoma's rotation on the uneven bars, and we will also go over to the vault for Utah State.
Opening with a Yurchenko full, just a big hop backwards, but a good vault overall. That will start from a 9.95.
Solid routine there for Peyton Gatzleff.
She has a season high of a 9.825. Last week she scored a 9.725.
Junior from Ankeny, Iowa, and a transfer after a season at Lindenwood University. To the Sooners we go, and Kat Levasseur is first up on the uneven bars.
Kat is just a beautiful bar worker. You can see it in her lines, her toe point. Huge Tkachev, nailing that handstand. Hitting that last handstand, just her dismount, blind full, double back. Let's see if she sticks it, and she does. Great leadoff routine from Catherine Levasseur over there on the bars. Here's that dismount again, perfectly stuck. There she goes. Teammate Audrey Davis freaking out. Great start for Oklahoma over there on the bars. You love to see teammates celebrate after routines.
Catherine Levasseur was only part of one rotation in the NCAA championships for Oklahoma last year, and she wanted to challenge herself. Man, has she. She's in all 4 events. This is Brianna Brooks.
Another Yurchenko full, just the smallest hop backwards. Great form in the air, just the slightest hop, pike down, but that was a great vault.
Peyton Gatzleff had a 9.700. The opening routine for Utah State there. And we'll see what Brooks registers. Senior from Las Vegas, 4th year in the program.
Had a 9.8 last week.
Faith Torres will be up next for the Sooners on the uneven bars.
And this is a little bit of a different lineup for Oklahoma. Danielle Sievers has been starting off for them, so having Kat go first just changes things up a bit. Faith nailing that opening handstand and huge ray. Just great control throughout. Huge packed salto. So far, this is an excellent routine. Doesn't quite get that last handstand, at least from this angle, but nails that double layout dismount. The Sooners are going for the stick.
She's like a cat when she lands.
She is. There's that packed salto. Little leg separation. Not quite sure if the judges can see it from their angle. Here's that dismount. Great stuck dismount from her.
Catherine Levasseur had a 9.875 prior to that. Here's Juliet Boyer on vault.
Another Yurchenko full, just a little pike down, but holds on to that landing, so that will be a pretty good score for her.
And just good that she is able to compete. She is a transfer from Arizona State, spent 4 years there, but was injured and did not compete in 2022 or 2023. So we just saw Faith Torres for Oklahoma. Reagan Smith is set to go. She is ranked 9th nationally on the uneven bars. 9-time All-American.
Reagan is so clutch on this event and has consistently gotten better year after year.
Faith Torres score just posted a 9.825 for her.
She just missed a couple of handstands in that routine. And you can really tell when the judges see that, they're going to take those tiny details, and they do add up.
Oklahoma ranked #1 on the uneven bars as a team. And that program record tire that they had last week at Arizona State.
Nails that opening handstand to a huge ray, right into a packed salto. Beautifully done, hitting that half pirouette. So far, this is an excellent routine. Getting every handstand and nailing that dismount. Wow, what a routine for Reagan Smith. You can see she's excited. That must have been her best routine so far this year that I have seen.
Has had a bad shoulder that she has worked through to stick routines like this.
Last week she had a 9.95, which is a season high.
We'll get Reagan Smith's score in just a moment. Olivia Ostendorf now for Utah State on vault.
Another Yurchenko full. Great block off the table and form in the air. Just a small hop backwards.
She's a transfer from Ball State, and last year at Utah State, she had one of the top 10 vault averages in program history.
Yeah, she has great form in the air, and she kind of flares out off the vault, which I love it when gymnasts do that. So
Juliet Boyer's score was 9.725. You see Oklahoma ready to move to Malin Sullivan, who's finally healthy. She's basically a freshman because just hasn't been able to compete last couple of years.
Starts off with a Maloney right into a beautiful packed salto, nailing that half pirouette. What a great routine so far for her. Her first routine so far competing for the Sooners this year on bars. Great dismount, tiny step forward, but amazing routine for her just to get in the lineup and perform that way. You can tell her teammates are excited too.
Previous appearances were exhibitions. In the lineup for the first time this season, Malin Sullivan. Reagan Smith had a 9.925 prior to that, which is the high water mark so far on the uneven bars.
Yeah, the judges are being a little bit picky over there on the bars.
Nyla Morabito set to go. Olivia Ostendorf had a 9.825 a moment ago.
She'll do a Yurchenko full as well. Just lands a little off center and has to take a small hop backwards, but gets great block off the table.
Pretty solid rotation going now for Utah State on vault. Remember, they were the second place team behind Oklahoma after the opening rotation of the night. And they are showing no signs that they're going to fall out of that spot on rotation number 2. We'll
Yeah.
get Morabito's score in a moment.
And they had a season high tying 48.95 last week. So it'll be exciting to see what they get this week.
Audrey Davis ranked 3rd nationally on the uneven bars. She was the NCAA runner-up on bars 2 seasons ago.
She is someone that is just ready to score a perfect 10 on this event. She is just so fluid and perfect and one of the most beautiful gymnasts to watch on this event. Nails that handstand. Just her dismount now, showing off every single detail. Gets the stick. What a routine from Audrey Davis. We'll see what the judges do with this.
She's never had a 10 on the uneven bars. The judges have been stingy. What do you think?
I'm not going to say it. I don't want to jinx it. Audrey's perfect every time in my eyes.
Audrey Davis. We'll have one more regular competitor, Jordan Bowers, in a moment. She had a 10 last week. We'll see what she has here shortly. Angel Stewart here.
Another Yurchenko full. A little bit awkward landing right there. You could tell that she had to pipe down pretty quick. Didn't get the block she wanted off the table, but recovered it very well and was able to hold on to that landing.
That wraps up Utah State's vault rotation. The high score is Olivia Ostendorf's 9.825. Audrey Davis just posted a 9.95 on the uneven bars, which is the highest total so far. We saw perfection from Jordan Bowers a week ago. Here she is again, the #1 gymnast nationally on this rotation.
Now let's see what Jordan can do on this event. Nails that opening handstand, going into her Jaeger. Great height. Hits that handstand. Gorgeous pack salto to the low bar. Final handstand nailed, and just her dismount to go. Let's see what she does. And it's perfectly stuck. The Sooners over there with the sticks. What a routine from Jordan Bowers.
What a rotation from Oklahoma.
The scores might not show it, but the Sooners had a great rotation on the bars. Just missed a few handstands here and there, but really, really good.
Big hug from head coach KJ Kindler. Look one more time at this dismount.
Here's that dismount again. Great height off the bar. Nails that landing. Big smile.
Perfection last week. Nitpick that one. What was possibly wrong with it? Not much, right?
Not much. I don't know what the judges see sometimes, but I'm seeing 110 flashed.
There is a 10 up there. See what the other judge has to say.
I'm not hearing any screams, so I'm gonna guess it's a 9.975.
the Sooners done with their regular rotation. We are expecting an exhibition from Hannah Shively, which is occurring right now. .9975 was the score for Jordan Bowers. As it turns out, you were right on the money.
Nearing perfection. I just could tell the judges weren't going to give it to her. Today they were being a little stingy with their scoring.
But still excellent for Jordan Bowers. The high score so far on the uneven bars from the #1 uneven bars gymnast in the country this year.
Big opening double pike over there on the floor. This is the Pioneers' best event. They set a new program record last week, 49.375, and broke their former record, which was set in 2015.
Score so far is a tie. Emily Six and Madeline Gose for Texas Women's University on floor exercise.
Heads into her last pass now. Double back. Lands a bit short. Has to take a step forward. That will be a deduction. Great routine for her. Just that small deduction at the end on that landing.
So Steely King, the 4th competitor for the Pioneers on floor exercise. Still have Sophie Hernandez and Daisy Woodring yet to go. BYU is taking their rotation on the balance beam. There are 4 competitors in. Elise Rollins up next.
Back handspring gainer, full dismount. Almost goes off the mat there, but holds it there.
Elise Rollins, a senior from West Jordan, Utah. She is tied for the team lead in average on beam. 9.90.
She is a beautiful beam worker.
We'll have Brinley Anderson up next. So Steely King with a 9.80 for Texas Women's University on the floor exercise. Sophie Hernandez up next. Freshman from Holly Springs, North Carolina. Made her vault debut last week. This is an event on which the Pioneers had a program record floor exercise to close their meet, which Lisa Bowerman said it was great to silence any meet circumstances that happen. You know, you hit that final rotation of the night, maybe things haven't gone your way, but then you come through with a program record score. You got some momentum and something to take away and build upon.
Sophie Hernandez on the floor. Opens up with a front through to a double pike. Nicely done. She had a 9.95 last week in their new program record, 49.375. Beautiful leap combination. Into her next pass, 1.5 front layout. Nailed it. You can see her teammates freaking out in the back. What a great routine for Sophie Hernandez.
That 9.95 last week against Missouri was a career high. Not much wrong with that routine.
No, we'll see what the judges do with that. Been a little picky here tonight.
Still Daisy Woodring yet to go in the regular lineup, and then an exhibition from Brooke Ferrari scheduled for the Pioneers on floor exercise. Saw Elise Rollins a moment ago for BYU. 9.75 was her score on the beam. I believe Brinley Anderson took her turn. I was trying to watch two events at the same time. Brinley Anderson did take her turn. They did not hold her for the Cougars. So that'll complete the regular rotation for BYU on beam. And the lead score, twin 9.75s for Rollins and Mason so far. 9.925 there for Sophie Hernandez. She continues to do very well on floor exercise for the Pioneers. And Daisy Woodring will be the final regular competitor. You see that she's in her home state from Bixby, Oklahoma.
She also had a 9.95 career high on this event last week, hoping to set that program record. Opens up with a huge double pike. Was able to control that landing. Got huge air height in those leaps. Punch full to a front layout, just a little leg separation. You can never see or never tell if the judges will see that from their angle, but from this angle you could. Just her last pass now. Big double tuck to close. I think she might have had to step out there. But overall, a good routine for her. Might not have been as great as last week, but huge tumbling from her. Just a little bit unsure on those landings.
So that'll wrap up the regular rotation for Texas Women's University on floor exercise. Brooke Ferrari is scheduled for an exhibition here in just a moment. Final pass here, we'll look again for Woodring.
Here's that last pass again, double back. Did have to take a step out of bounds from this angle. Watching that replay again.
So all of the regular scores just about in. Still waiting on Woodring there. You see Oklahoma 9.9175, an overall score midway through. Sooners posted a 49.625 on the uneven bars. That is once again above their season average, but not a season high for them. Last minute instruction going on here. Brooke Ferrari will exhibition. Posting the individual scores. You see what Oklahoma did. Jordan Bowers, the high score on the uneven bars, 9.975. After the perfect 10 on uneven bars a week ago. So those scores that you see on the bug are accurate. All of the regular players are in, and this is just an exhibition for Brooke Ferrari.
Opens up with a double pike. Great control on that landing. One and a half punch layout. Done very well. Daisy Woodring had a 9.725, so she did end up stepping out of bounds, which is a 1/10 deduction from the total score. So if she would have stayed in bounds, it would have been a 9.825. Here's that last pass now. Double tuck, gets the landing. Very solid exhibition routine over there for Brooke.
And 2 rotations are in the books tonight inside the Lloyd Noble Center. Texas Women's University floor exercise scores with the Sophie Hernandez routine. It's going to be a challenge to beat before the night is all said and done.
Yeah, that's a big score, especially from the scores that I've seen so far from these judges. She had great power throughout her routine and great landings.
So Jordan Bowers had a 9.975 for Oklahoma on the bars. Audrey Davis also very good once again tonight with a 9.95. Let's look back at Audrey Davis's routine.
Here's Audrey's routine, that huge hiked Jaeger with the reverse grip. Pat salto, nailing every handstand. I'm not quite sure what the judges take throughout her routine. Here's that dismount. Gets the stick. She's excited every time. We're excited every time. One day it'll happen. She'll get a 10.
Good assistant at Oklahoma in 2011 and 2012.
It's always good to see former Sooners back in the Lloyd Noble Center. Here we go on beam for Oklahoma. Audrey Davis leading things off. Audrey is beautiful to watch on this event. She will open up with her series back handspring layout. Just a little bit off there on that footing, but was able to save it. Be a small deduction. Beautiful front aerial. Shows off her flexibility throughout her routine. Difficult jump right here, split ring, holds on to that landing. Just her dismount now, round off double full. Great punch off the beam, smallest step backwards, but a good start for Oklahoma on the beam with Audrey Davis.
Tied for 21st nationally on beam, and she is a past All-American on balance beam. Is Audrey Davis to the floor exercise, and first up for BYU, see the junior Eliza Millard-Crossman.
BYU has the time of their lives on this event. Last week they had a season high 49.325. Eliza starts off with a double back, has a great landing out of it. As a former floor worker, I love to see gymnasts perform out there on the floor. It really makes the routines, and the judges do pay attention to it. Just her last pass now. She'll do a front layout to a front full. Great landing and a great start on the floor for BYU from Eliza.
She's been on the balance beam all 5 meets so far. That is her 4th appearance on the floor exercise lineup for BYU, the junior from Cincinnati.
Last week she had a 9.775. I bet her score will be bigger than that this week.
Audrey Davis' score was 9.800. Kiara Wells up second for the Sooners.
Just a freshman, scoring a 9.95 last week, which is her career high and season high. She's just a freshman. Does a side aerial switch foot, nails it right there, really gaining confidence on this event. Beam is one of those events that you have to attack, can't hold back on. Beautiful leap series from her. Switch leap to a switch jump. Back handspring layout, holds on to that landing. So far, a very steady routine for Kiara. Just her dismount now. Let's see if she can get the stick. Round off 1.5, and she gets the stick. Another solid routine for her on the balance beam. We'll see what the judges give that.
KJ Kindler said she is maybe the most consistent competitor the Sooners have on beam. She already has a career high tonight on vault of 9.925.
Yeah, she's definitely showing it so far this season, especially tonight.
Back to the rotation for BYU on the floor exercise, and Olivia Mayturn
opens up with a front double full and has to take a step out, so that will be a 10th deduction from the final score. Had a 9.85, which was a season high for her last week. Round off 1.5 punch layout. Beautifully done. You know, it's tough as a gymnast to make errors like stepping out of bounds, but it's bound to happen at some point. So it's better to do early on in the season, so they can figure out their stepping so it doesn't happen again. Heads into her last pass now. A punch Rudy. Very nicely done. A great finish for her. Unfortunately, she stepped out of bounds on that first pass, so that will be a 10th off her final score, but that was a very solid routine otherwise.
Follows Millar Crossman's 9.85. And for Oklahoma, Davis has a 9.8, Wells a 9.875, and Jordan Bowers will be up next. Ranked 5th nationally with that average on the beam this year.
Had a 9.9 last week and a season high of a 9.95. One word to describe Jordan is fierce. You can see it in her eyes and every single movement. You can also appreciate the rhythm that she has in her routine. Goes right into each skill. Nails that back handspring layout. Split leap to a switch side. Just a little bobble right there. Has to take her foot off the beam. It'll be a small deduction. So we won't see a perfect 10 tonight. Just her dismount now. Run off double full. Gets the stick. Very solid routine for Jordan Bowers. Just had that small deduction. But great momentum over there on the beam.
Scores are building for the Sooners. 9.8, a 9.875, and we'll see about Bowers. Sophie Dudley now on floor exercise for the Cougars. Just saw Mayturn with a 9.675 for BYU. That was a junior from Plano East High School.
Last week, she did a double layout for the first time. She does it here again tonight. Done very well. Just a small step out of it. Had a 9.9 last week, which was her career high. Goes into her next pass. Front full to punch layout. Executed so well. With a very good double back. Very difficult routine. Opens up with that double layout, ends with a double back, and she nailed
it. Season average is 9.9 on 4 exercise for Sophie Dudley. We will see about that one as we swing to Faith Torres. Jordan Bowers just recorded a 9.85 for Oklahoma on the beat.
Scoring has been a bit low over there on the beam. I'm seeing a little bit of mistakes here and there, but not from Faith Torres so far. Beautiful side aerial backhand or back layout series. Switch lead straddle. Just her dismount, backhand spring gainer full, really flat on that gainer full. What an excellent routine. I didn't see much deduction there, but we'll see what the judges do.
Faith Torres ranked 7th nationally on the beam. For the Sooners, 4th in the rotation tonight. We will see her score in a moment. Just saw Sophie Dudley, a 9.925 a moment ago on 4 exercise for BYU.
That will be a new career high for her.
Heidi Schooley now.
Starts off with a round off 1.5. Punch layout. Got a little bit too high in that 1.5 and didn't get as much block as she needed into that front layout. Excellent floor performances over there. I love to see it and really appreciate it. And I know the judges do too. Just her last pass now. Double back, stays in bounds. Wow, what a solid landing. Overall, great performance for her and a very solid routine.
Junior from Orem, Utah, and just her 2nd time in the 4 exercise lineup this season for BYU. But a powerful performance there. Faith Torres is scoring 9.95 for Oklahoma just a moment ago on beam, so they did find a little bit of fault somewhere. And now Catherine Lavasser.
Yeah, these judges are being extra picky tonight. But no matter what, the gymnasts just have to do what they do. And sometimes the score reflects that and sometimes it doesn't. Kat is beautiful on this event. switch leap straddle quarter. Perfectly done. Really hitting those 180 splits. Nice cat leap to a front aerial. So far, not much deduction I would take from this routine either. Just her dismount now. She does a back handspring gainer full. Tiny, tiny hop on that landing, but if you blink, you might not have seen it. But that was a great routine from Kat on the beam.
I didn't see it. Levasseur continues the strong Sooner rotation on B. And back to the Cougars on the floor exercise. We just saw Schooley with a 9-9, so a couple of really good 9-9 pluses back-to-back for the Cougars. And we get to the fifth gymnast of the night, Ava Jorgensen.
Opens up with a double pike. Sinks a little bit in that landing, has to take a pretty big step backwards. But yes, there has been great momentum on the floor for BYU. And just great performances all around. Front Rudy takes a step forward, which is under rotated. You would like to see her take a step back, so that will be a deduction. Final pass now. Round off 1.5 front layout. Great ending for her and a pretty solid routine.
So Heidi Schooley's score of 9-9 was a season and career high for her on-floor exercise.
Good for her, because that performance was amazing.
And
she
Sophie
was so
Dudley,
into it.
yeah, Dudley tied her career high on-floor exercise. We haven't seen a 10 tonight. This may be our best shot. Reagan Smith has done it 10 times in her Sooner career on the beam.
Reagan is so impressive on this event and has come in clutch so many times. Last week she scored a 9.9. Opens up with her series back handspring layout. So solid. Beautiful front aerial. Dances right out of it. Difficult combination. Straddle half, swing down, perfectly executed. Little wobble on that full turn, but the judges might not have seen it from their angle. Heads into her dismount now. Back handspring gainer full and gets the stick. The only thing I saw from that routine would be that full turn, but other than that, that routine was pretty perfect.
Oklahoma with already 9-9 from Levasseur, 9-9-5 from Torres. What did Reagan Smith just score? Final competitor is Sydney Benson on floor exercise for the Cougars.
Had a 9.9 last week, which is a season high.
Been an excellent rotation on floor exercise for BYU.
Yes, it has. Sydney opens up with a double back. Great landing. gymnasts are also scored on their leap combinations. So sometimes in a routine, if you're not sure what they're taking from, they could be taking from their leaps. So pay attention to that. Does a front layout front full. Very nicely done. One more pass to go. Slowing it down right before to take some last minute breaths. Big double pike finds the landing and a solid end to this rotation from her over there on the floor.
Best rotation of the night for BYU, and Sydney Benson caps it in very fine fashion. Reagan Smith's score for Oklahoma on the beam, 9.95, matching the score of Faith Torres. And now Malin Sullivan set for an exhibition for the Sooners on the balance beam. So hard to break into the Oklahoma lineup on every rotation, but you get your chances and you have to perform, even if it doesn't count toward the score.
Yes, and I would say that balance beam is one of the hardest events to break into for this Oklahoma program. Opens up with a beautiful back handspring layout. Switch leap, one-handed back handspring to a back hip circle. Super difficult, but she makes it look so easy. Front gainer full off the beam and gets the stick. A solid exhibition for Malin on the balance beam. This gives Coach Kindler plenty of options to use later down in the season.
Oklahoma's score on beam, the regular rotation, minus, of course, that exhibition, 49.525, slightly below their season average, just a wobble or two here or there. We get back to exhibition here on the floor exercise. Regular rotation is done, and a very good rotation for BYU.
Punch Rudy.
Nina Margraf, multiple surgeries, vascular malformation that has led to that throughout her sports career. She's a junior from Spring, Texas.
Had a beautiful leap combination. That switch ring was picture perfect. Just her last pass now. Run up 1.5 punch layout. Great exhibition routine over there for BYU on the floor. Just gaining more experience.
And you appreciate Nina Margraf persevering through all of the surgeries throughout her career.
Yes.
Exhibitioning for BYU to close things. Played How Do You Like Me Now? Fans singing along as we continue to remember and recognize the Oklahoma icon and legendary Sooner supporter and just kind and gracious human being who we lost this week. Beam time for Utah State. Maya White will be up first. She is a freshman from Green Acres, Florida.
Opens up with a huge triple series, back handspring layout. Very solid. leap to a front aerial. Was a little bit off, had to lift up her leg. That will be a deduction. Just a little bit off on that leap series as well. Switch leap split. Sometimes it's hard to find your footing on the balance beam. Dismount now. Small hop forward, gainer full.
That is Maya Whitty, the freshman. And the Sooner floor lineup with Audrey Davis. Third time she's been in the leadoff position tonight.
Great leadoff for Oklahoma on this event. Opens up with a front double full. Beautifully done. I love her floor routine this year. It's very spunky. Beautiful leap series. Front off 1.5, front full. Great routine for Audrey Davis. She just does 2 passes, but gets the difficulty in her leaps and both of those passes. What you want if you are Oklahoma starting on the floor.
KJ Kindler said she's really wrapped her arms around the idea of leading off and the importance that it has with her team. She has been very good in that spot all night long. Maya Whitty had a 9.425 on beam just a moment ago for Utah State. Jenna Eagles is up second in the lineup.
Opens up with a back handspring layout. Kind of small wobble. Really nice side aerial to a split jump. Switch leap split. Not only do you not want to wobble, but you also want to hit 180 degrees in each split. Here's her dismount, round off 1.5, gets the stick. Great routine for Utah State.
Jenna Eagles, a senior from Ramsey, Minnesota, spent 2 seasons at Lindenwood University. This is her second year at Utah State. Now to Belle Johnson for the Sooners on the floor exercise.
This is her second time competing for the Sooners this season on floor. Last week she competed and got a 9.85.
Audrey Davis' score, by the way, 9.925.
Huge opening score for the Sooners. And Belle does a front layout, Rudy, to open up her routine. Just her last pass now. Belle ends with a double back. Has to take a small step forward. Typically you'd want to see a step backwards, but really great height in the air. Well executed leaps and a great routine for Belle, competing at home for the first time this season.
By the way, the 9.925 for Audrey Davis, that ties her career high. As you said, a huge score in the leadoff spot of the Sooners on the floor exercise. To the beam, and this is a little drop-in coverage for you. Utah State, and
Yeah, you typically don't see judges reward leadoff spots with a routine or with a score higher than a 9.9 on floor. So a 9.925 is a good score.
Sydney Jellin got going a little early, the freshman from Algonquin, Illinois. Seen a 9.775 from Eagles prior to this.
Really nice dismount, back handspring gainer full. A great finish to her routine.
We just saw Belle Johnson's score posted for the Sooners, 9.9. So 9.925 and 9.9 in 2 routines for the Sooners so far on the floor exercise. Bear in mind what Oklahoma has done this year. Into the night, 64 scores of 9.9 or better. More than half their routines have been 9.9 or better on the season. Reagan Smith will be up next.
Reagan scored a 9.95, which is a season high last week. She opens up with a double tuck. Very nice landing from her. Going with the theme of the night, her era's floor routine. Heads into her next pass, run off 1.5 front layout. You can tell she's happy with that. You can see all of the Oklahoma women's gymnastics alumni there in the back. Might recognize some faces. Beautiful leap combination. Just her last pass now. Reagan will end with a double pike. Huge double pike, gets the landing. That was an amazing routine for Reagan. That should put up a big score for Oklahoma.
First team All-American on floor exercise a season ago. Reagan Smith, third in the Sooner lineup. Just saw Sydney Jellin with a 9.75 a moment ago. And now move on to Danny Kirstein.
And unfortunately, Danny was a little off on her back handspring layout and had to take a fall, which will be 5/10 deduction off her routine. It's really tough opening your routine with a fall, but these gymnasts are not perfect, even though they're striving for perfection. Now she just needs to get up and finish her routine to the best that she can. You never know what could happen later on in the lineup. So you have to make everything count. And she's doing that. Just her dismount now. Front gainer full. Just a small hop on the landing, but a great finish for her.
So Oklahoma on the floor exercise with already 3 scores of 9.9 or better. Reagan Smith just posted a 9.95, which is the best of all.
Very well deserved for Reagan.
So Kat Levasseur will be up next. At 9.95 is a season high for Reagan Smith, but not a career high.
Kat had a 9.9 last week, but has a season high of a 9.95. So let's see if she can carry that momentum over. Starts off with a huge full in. I love watching her on floor this season. Not only does she have great lines, but she also has power to go with it. Beautiful 180 split. in those leaps. Just her last pass now. She does a 1.5 front layout to a jump, front half to a jump, sorry. Great routine for Catherine Levasseur to continue this momentum for the Sooners over there on the floor. Wow.
They're going to stay all 9-9 or better after that one from Levasseur. Oklahoma building up to a huge floor score. They are number 2 nationally in season average on the floor exercise. Brianna Brooks up next. Haven't seen Kirstein's score yet. She had a miss prior to this. Brianna Brooks, senior from Las Vegas. And there's Kirstein's score with the fall in 8.875. So the Aggies will need to replace that.
And Brianna is definitely the gymnast you want up next in your lineup. Last week she scored a 9.9, which is a season high.
She was the NCAA North Central Region Gymnast of the Year last year out in that region.
Opened up with a beautiful front aerial to a one-handed back handspring. Looking very confident up there. Switch lead, straddle quarter. I'm always impressed by gymnasts that can smile throughout their beam routine. Just her dismount, back handspring, gainer full. Wow, what a routine from her.
Oklahoma's floor results. Levasseur just posted a career high 9.975. Audrey Davis tied her career high of 9.925. Can you feel it building as we get to Faith Torres?
Oh, I can feel it building. And these scores are showing exactly what these Sooners are doing. A huge double layout from Faith Torres over there on the floor. Faith just doing what she does best. She had a 9.925, but has a season high of a 9.95. Gearing up for her last pass. Beautiful leap connection right there. Heads into her last pass, does a front through to a double back. Let's see how she lands, and wow, that was a great landing for Faith. Oklahoma on the floor. The momentum is building. Wow.
First team All-American and the co-floor exercise title winner in the Big 12 last year was Faith Torres. You see, we split screen you with Olivia Ostendorf on the beam. What an important routine that was for Brianna Brooks, bouncing back for this Utah State team on the beam.
Olivia opens up with a handspring layout. Beautifully done. Split tuck full. Doesn't go quite as high as I would have liked to see on that tuck full. Big front toss. Didn't quite get the landing there. adjust her dismount now. Does a round of 1.5. Holds on for the stick.
Very nice routine there from Ostendorf. That's the final regular competitor. Faith Torres just scored a 9.95 on floor exercise. That ties her career high. So Davis and Torres have tied their career highs. Lavasser has set a career high on floor exercise. What might Jordan Bowers be up to as the final regular rotation competitor of the night?
Yeah, the momentum has truly built for this Oklahoma team on the floor. And being at home, the last competitor. Let's see what Jordan does. She had a near perfect 9.975 last week, which is a season high.
Does have a perfect 10 in her career on floor exercise.
Opens up with a front double fold to a punch front. Had a little too much height on there. Had to take a pretty big step forward. But overall, a beautiful pass. Last pass now, a huge double pike. Great landing out of that pass. That is what you want to see. What a night for Jordan Bowers.
That's an exhibition for Nyla Morabito on the beam.
Had to fall off, did a side flip and was a little bit off. Great routine over there for Jordan Bowers to cap off this amazing Oklahoma floor rotation.
First team All-American on floor exercise a season ago. Jordan Bowers, a perfect 10 in her career. And what a rotation it has been for Oklahoma on floor exercise. 3 career high numbers. And we'll get Jordan Bowers' score in a moment. As Nyla Morabito, the final competitor on the beam. That was an exhibition for Utah State. Sooners will have Soraya Hawthorne exhibitioning on floor exercise in just a moment to wrap up the evening. I can't wait to see what this final score is going to be for Oklahoma on the floor exercise.
Me too. I do not think it will be a 10.0, but you never know what the judges will do.
9.95 for Jordan Bowers there. So she finishes up an excellent night for her. And Soraya Hawthorne, the exhibition.
I love watching Soraya on this event. She has such a fun routine, and I'm so glad she's getting to exhibition it tonight.
Oklahoma's regular floor score is a new season high of 49.700.
Opens up with a huge double pike. Wow. Just floats in the air. Although her score doesn't count, this routine does matter in the eyes of her coaches, who are going to be deciding the lineup for the rest of the season. And you never know what could happen later on. Having some fun out there. I love her routine. Just her last pass now. Punch layout to a Rudy. Had a little bit of trouble with that jump out of that Rudy, but was able to save the landing. But that was a great exhibition routine to put a close on this competition for the Sooners.
The Georgia transfer, originally from Memphis, She wanted more in her collegiate career, and KJ Kindler says she has fit in because she has bought in. She's been a regular in the floor exercise rotation 3 occasions and exhibitioning on that apparatus tonight. Oklahoma with a season-high result on the floor exercise to cap the night, and easily winning consecutive meet number 51 at the Lloyd Noble Center. It'll be 79 straight individual dual wins overall. And on alumni night, they're going to toss out some t-shirts. Kat Levasseur, what a beautiful routine, a new career high for her on the floor exercise to close things.
Kat had a huge routine, just beautiful, has the elegance, has the power, and has the controlled landings. Well-deserved 9975 for her.
She takes the floor exercise title tonight. The Sooners win the individual events on all rotations and the all-around. And Jordan Bowers has a huge night. She wins the vault, the bars, and the all-around. Faith Torres takes the beam title tonight. And all the alums enjoy watching the top-ranked Sooners continue as they try to roll to their 3rd straight national title. We'll recap it when we come back.
A little bit off today. Those scores just didn't show up. But yes, tonight was finally an all-around meet for the Sooners, and hopefully what we'll continue to see throughout the season.
And an excellent night in the all-around for Jordan Bowers. Jordan Bowers wins that all-around title tonight. We look at the final scores, wrapping things up at 198-450 for Oklahoma, easily winning by more than 2 points over second place BYU.